Hi everybody, it's Heza-chan, and I'm here with the video where I'm going to talk about the happenings of Tokyo Game Show and some of the other happenings that happened earlier this year in 2010. So, let's get right down to it. First, you might be wondering why I'm in a maid costume. Well, I figured I would wear it to make this video a little bit more interesting, and I also bought it in Harajuku for a whopping $30, so I thought it was great. It comes with a cute little apron and the petticoat and everything. $30, you can't beat it. Alright, so earlier this year, I think, I don't know if it was in January or February or something like that, I got this email from a friend of mine named Billy. He's also a co-worker of my boyfriend's. He's an artist for Frozen Codebase. He sent me an email saying that I should submit some photos into this website, dannychu.com, for the Otacool 2 book, like, cast call. It's not really a cast call, but I guess try to get your photos into it because it's about worldwide cosplayers. And guess what? I managed to get on the cover, right next to many other great cosplayers from around the world. And I also managed to get inside the book, too. And as you can see on the cover, there's awesome cosplayers, and also on the back, too. There's wonderful cosplayers there, too. So this is basically a picture book. It's actually a Japanese publication, so it's sold in Japan from Kotobukiya. Actually, when I went to Tokyo Game Show when I was in Akihabara, I went to the Kotobukiya store and they only had like 2 of these left. So, so I'll show you the page that I got, that I'm on, and I am right next to Yaya Han and cosplayer Itaru. They're wonderful cosplayers. There we go. And I'm in my Cutie Honey and my Chibiusa costumes right here. But yeah, wonderful opportunity to make new cosplay friends and to kind of get your name out there, and hopefully Japanese cosplayers and fans will get to know you a little bit better and get in contact with you. That'd be really cool. So I don't know if it was because of this book, but later on in the year, I got asked to write a DIY or a tutorial for Cosplay Gen. And this is their very first issue. They are published in Romania, but the actual magazine is in English, and you can buy it online. And for Otacool and Cosplay Gen, I'll be putting some links down here, so you can check them out if you're interested. So I wrote a tutorial on how to make a high ponytail wig using 2 wigs. And no wefting, no sewing required. It's very easy. And also the tutorial for this is on my website too, since they're on their 2nd issue. I had also gotten permission to put it on my website after the magazine had been published a few months afterwards. So yeah, but if you're interested in it, go ahead and check it out. There's wonderful photos, tutorials, articles about cosplayers in general all over the world, and yeah. So I'll put a URL down there, down on the box for you, or even in an annotation down here. Alright, so those 2 things happened and they were pretty awesome. I actually managed to have a couple online radio reviews. Well, one was an online radio review, the other one was with Nika Christo, who actually made my Eno prop that I showed you in an earlier video. And that was just wonderful experiences all around. The people were very nice, made lots of new friends, connections, and sort of stuff like that, sort of within the cosplay community. So anyway, I'll get right down to it and talk about Tokyo Game Show 2010, because I'm sure that's why you're all watching this video. Hold on, let me take a drink of water real quick. Okay, so I wanted to talk about how us foreigners got a little bit of a kind of special treatment at Tokyo Game Show this year. There was this thing called CosGroove going on. They were an organizer group to try to promote international cosplayers to come to Tokyo Game Show. And since I was going anyway, because my boyfriend works in the video game industry and he was going there on business, I figured it's always been my dream to cosplay in Japan, and since I didn't do it the last time I was there, Since they were making it a little bit easier for us foreigners, I figured I'd say what the heck and take a whack at it. So, uh, in 2008, people, even there's foreigner cosplayers there too, but you'd have to follow, you follow the Japanese rules, and of course you're going to have to follow them in 2010 too, when they had this sort of thing going on. But you would normally just get in a line, you'd bring your costume in a bag, you can't come to the event in costume. That's how most events are in Japan, if not all, from my understanding. I could be wrong, but you go in and you go into a changing room, and then you change there, and then there's a special area for cosplayers only, called the Cosplay Alley, or Cos Hall, or whatever they want to call it. And instead of American cosplayers or foreigners, because it's not just Americans, there were a couple, I think people from Taiwan and Singapore and stuff like that came. We got our own special room and stuff, as long as we had tried to get in contact with CosCrew before we got there. And so we didn't have to pay for it. There was no waiting in line. We got in early because they wanted us in costume before the event started. Was open to the public. And that was it was very nice of them to go through all that trouble, but I mean, I could see it causing a little bit of a rift in the cosplay community there in Japan because of the special treatment. But I mean, it was very nice for us foreigners, because in 2008 I kind of would have felt lost, So I get there and I meet all these wonderful cosplayers, and the Americans that were there actually lived there in Japan, and they were teachers of English. They taught English in Japan, so most of them could speak Japanese too. So they were kind of helping me out with some crowd control, I guess you would call it. I really don't want to call it that, but as you may know, that if you go to an event in Japan, there's tons and tons of people, little space between people when you're, going around doing things. And this year it was I think the venue was a little bit smaller because there wasn't as many video game demos or whatnot going on, but there was way more people. And I don't know if that's because they tried to make it look more international, they want more international presence there, or whatnot, but I mean, it was huge. So we get out there, we all dress up, and we get out there, and tons of people want to start taking our photos, and we kind of branched off into our thing. Because I didn't belong with Final Fantasy, I was a different series, so I mean, I was surrounded by photographers, and I mean, I knew that this stuff was going to happen, but I mean, it's a little overwhelming, and also, without my glasses, I can't really see the full depth of everything because I'm nearsighted. So I could see all the people near me, but everything back from a certain distance was very blurry. But some of my friends got a couple clips of photos, or not, a couple photos that you can see here of just how kind of nuts it really was. So I'll show you those. Alright, so now you can kind of get an idea of just how nuts it was. So, I had a Japanese Zappa cosplayer actually help me with some of the crowds, with some of the photographers, because this is what they do in Japan. Normally they will line up in a straight line and ask for permission and stuff like that, but this year there was a lot of foreigners there, a lot of foreigner attendees that didn't know the rules, so they would just kind of gather around you, and not all of them would ask permission, and they would continue to take photos. So normally in Japan, when a cosplayer feels they need a break from all the flash and, photographers, they will do a countdown from 10. And once they get to 0, the photographers will usually stop taking photos and then let you have your break. Well, that didn't necessarily happen, at least to me, and I know it didn't happen to other cosplayers, whether they were foreign or Japanese. And I don't know if it's because there was such a large foreign presence of attendees and they didn't know the rules or what, but sometimes it got to be a little bit overwhelming. But the thing was, I was having a good time. I knew that it was going to happen. I mean, it was to be expected. regardless of what kind of outfit you are in. And I know I wore Ino, and I know that it's kind of showy, but I mean that's her character. And to be honest with you, I really didn't have any other video game cosplays that I made recently that were still in good condition, and I knew people would recognize the character, so that's why I brought it. And also, usually they call it the cosplay level in Japan. At Tokyo Game Show was really high. Like, people's cosplays were just excellent, to a T, perfect, wonderful makeup, everything, and you know, I wanted to bring my best as well. So that's why I brought my Ino. And it was lots and lots of fun. Regardless of like some of the photo crowds and stuff, I made lots of new friends. You know, the cosplayers were nice. You know, I think that they're going to be posting my photo in Cosmode. I had to sign some paper and stuff like that. And I don't know, it was just a great overall experience to cosplay in Japan, because it's always been a dream of mine. And it's very different from cosplaying in America, because you can't just go to the event in costume, and you know, you have a lot more. It seems as if you have a lot more photographers taking photos of you than you do in America too. But other than that, I wouldn't change it for the world. It was so much fun. Although there were a little bit of things that were slightly disorganized. We had this cosplay dance thing that was more like the press conference from the business day, where they kind of lined us foreigner cosplayers up in front of the stage, and everybody in the audience was looking at us, and we had no idea what we were doing. I mean, we just kind of looked at each other. It was like, are we supposed to go up on stage? What are we supposed to do? You know, and that was really awkward. And so we sat down again. We watched, you know, the rest of it. And then at the end of it, we had no idea this was going to really happen. But they wanted us to dance for 15 minutes straight. And like I said, most of us were in costume for almost like 12 hours straight without an eating or drinking break or anything like that. And it was really hot and sweaty. We were outside, you know, because the hallway was outside, and it was a pretty hot day. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but I mean, it's hard being in costume with tons of layers and in that sort of environment, you know. Usually a cosplayer will change out, you know. But they didn't want us to change out for the dance, so we had to be in costume in the dance, and then we had to dance. And basically I was there from 9 a.m. in the morning till 9 at night, and I only got like an hour break where I was actually able to change out of my costume, because I snuck out and came back. So, I mean, it was pretty exhausting. I know that there's some photo on Kotaku right now where it shows me and I look like I'm irritated, or like that I didn't expect it, or like, God, this pissed me off. But no, I was really tired. I've been in costume forever. It was really hot, and besides, Ino has that disinterest, bitchy look on her face anyway, so whatever. Just to clear that up, but like I said, it was a wonderful experience, and I actually got to meet Omi Gibson, and I'll show you a photo of that next. And I'll also show you a very small video that my boyfriend took. Sorry of the quality. He's kind of rushy when he takes videos of me at Tokyo Game Show.
Here's Heather cosplaying in Japan.
Well, I hope you liked that short video clip and that photo of me and Omi together. That photo was actually taken by Ryo Oki. He is a friend of Omi Gibson's, and I thank him very much for taking photos of her and I together, because I didn't have my camera with me at the time, and it was just a great experience. I also had my photo taken with another Japanese cosplayer whom I admire, but honestly I'm sorry, I can't remember her name, but she also dressed up as Ino, and we got a photo together, but it was from her friend, and I haven't seen it yet. So hopefully I can get my hands on that photo, because it was really nice getting to meet her. So that was it. That's it for this video. Like I said, watch out for another video that'll be coming up where I talk about my actual kind of trip and things that I did in Japan before Tokyo Game Show happened. And yeah, like I said, wonderful experience, great opportunities, and new friends and stuff like that. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye.